Before the internet. Information and the internet. Imagine that your city holds a festival each year celebrating the history of the city. Your teacher wants everyone in your class to write a report about the festival. You need to research and include information about your city, the history of the festival, and event happening at the festival this year. Your teacher says that you need to use several different sources. You also need to interview a person who lives in your city. You probably already know how you would start finding information for your project. Your city likely has a website and social media pages where you can quickly learn about its history and current events. You can also find the people involved in planning the festival. Imagine that you live in a time before the internet was available. Though, how will you find information for your project now? At the library, you decide to start at a local public library. There you can find book, article and news stories and information about events and people in your city. The librarian can help you find the most useful resources for your project. The librarian tell you that encyclopedias are a helpful starting point for any kind of project. Encyclopedias are books full of information about many different topics. They come in a set that is organized alphabetically. Each book usually covers topics that begin with a letter of the alphabet. The encyclopedia might have an article about your city or about an important person who once lived there. Owning encyclopedias. For many years, most schools and libraries has had set of encyclopedias. Many people are also own encyclopedias at home. Encyclopedias peer so people would travel from home to home selling the books. A full set of encyclopedias could cost more than $1,000. Most encyclopedias companies no longer print the book. Instead, encyclopedias can be found online. Once you learn everything you can from encyclopedia, you look for other books in the library. For this, you use the card catalog. This system keeps track of the books in the library. The librarian shows you drawers full of paper cards with information about every book in the history in the library. The cards list the title, author, and subjects of each book. You look through the card until you find a book you think might be helpful. Then you write down the information from the card. Now you know where to find the book on the shelves. Next, your librarian shows you where the library keeps copies of newspapers and magazines. You look through old newspapers and find stories about festivals in past year. Your library also has recording of local TV and radio news stories. You find old photographs and video recording of events that happened at the festival. In the news, you can check the news to find information about this year's festival too. Your city newspaper might have an article about the upcoming festival. Your local news station might do a story about it too. Your library has a copy of the most recent newspaper, and your parents have a newspaper delivered to your home each day. You plan to watch the evening news to see the story of on TV. To find out when to watch local news, you look in a TV guide. The guide is printed your local newspaper. It lists every TV channel available in your area and every show playing on this channel at every hour of the day. The guide also has description of what will happen on the show that week. You look in the TV guide for the channel you get at your home. Then you find out what time you can watch the news. Face to face. Finally, you have collected all the information you can from books, articles, and news reports. It is time to begin planning your interview. Review. Your research has given some idea about who to interview from reading the newspaper. You have learned who is in charge of planning this year's festival. The local news interviewed a man who has been to 50 festivals. You decide you would like to interview him too. You also think it would be interesting to talk to the mayor of the city. You decide to try contacting all three of these people. You start by getting out another big book, the phone book. This book lists businesses, services, and households in your area. You can look people up by name to find their home telephone number, or you can look up businesses and city office to contact the people who work there. The phone book also lists a physical address for each household and business in town. If the person you call agree to do the interview, you will need to decide on a time and place to meet. You meet at the library, city hall, or the person office. You write down the address of the people you want to interview. Then you look at a map of the city. Map at the city. The map shows all the streets in town. It also shows important landmarks such as City Hall. Using the map, you can figure out the best way to get from your house to your meeting place. Finishing up. Once you finish gathering all the information for your project, you begin writing your report. You make sure to write neatly so your teacher can read your work. Then you place the report in a special folder. You don't want it to get dirty or wrinkled before you hand it into your teacher. Finally, you have some free time. Maybe you go back to the TV guide to find a show to watch for fun. Maybe you grab the phone book again so you can call a friend, or maybe you find the closest video store so you can rent a movie to watch. A word of technology. As internet use became more common in the 1990s, research and schoolwork changes a lot. Many other activities such as communication and entertainment changes too. That tools do you that tools do you use to do your schoolwork? Get in touch with people and plan your free time. Technology has changed the world in many ways. There is new technology every day, and the world continues to change. In a few years, the tools you use today might seem slow and out of date. What do you think the world will be like then?